Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Romanello. My name is Pat, and I'm the project manager here at Anthem. And I, plus my associates, are building your house. Today is January 4th, and we're doing a pre-drywall video today. During this COVID time, we don't do face-to-face walkthroughs, but we do this video. Hopefully it will be helpful to you and informative. And if you have any feedback or questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to Kyle. It's a little bit noisy behind me, but we'll make our way through it. We're going to go through the outside, go over the outside, walk the inside, look at all of your electrical, plumbing, and low volt options, and talk about things, and then we'll wrap up and talk about tentative schedule and what's planned upcoming. So this is a cheat sheet that I use. We're going to talk about all these different things today: the grading and drainage, the gutters and downspouts, the elevations, the window grids, electrical locations, low volt locations, plumbing, mechanical. We're beyond change order stage, so no more change orders, and then the projected schedule from here. So Thomas and Angela, without further ado, we're going to get started. As you can see, I'm standing in your driveway. And last week before the new year, I prepped your driveway to pour, and we'll be back this week. We're going to pour the driveway concrete and the apron to the street. And you can see since last week, we've started the masonry lap, and that's all the black mesh. We're finishing that up today. I have inspection on it tomorrow, so we can get moving on the stonework. Today we're also installing the gutters, and we'll look at those gutters and those downspout locations. As I mentioned here, one of those things. One of the things that I want to point out to you is your plot plan, and I know you have a copy of this, but if you've misplaced it or you need another copy, please reach out to Kyle and he'd be glad to forward you another copy. A lot of helpful information on here for your planning, for your landscape planning, and to talk with a contractor if you're going to have someone contract that from you. But it gives dimensions. It shows the footprint or the outline of all concrete, shows the foundation outline, shows property corners, all four property corners, dimensions of the lot. And this lot is 10,455 square feet. It's lot number 24. It has your address, a finished floor elevation of 5,383 feet above sea level. So when you're sitting at your dining table, that's the elevation you're sitting at. We're building a 2361 plan, and this is the Colorado rustic elevation. On the plot plan, it shows you all of the necessary grading percentages that I need to achieve, and this will be certified when I'm finished grading. First, I'll do all the exterior work, then we'll do the grading work. So it shows me percentage of grade, 10%, 10% in the back, and then shallows out to a 7%. In the front, it shows us there's a 4.5% slope on the garage front, and then a little bit steeper as we get down toward the sidewalk. This stop sign symbol shows me the number of steps in and out of your home. So at the garage entrance, there are 3 steps going up to the finished floor. To the covered deck and patio, 1 step down. 1 step down from the front door to the front porch. 2 steps down to the driveway. Also 2 steps in the garage, in the single stall garage. So that's what that symbol represents, is the number of steps that you'll be going in and out of your home. All of the numbers here, it does show, this dashed line shows our utility easement. We have an 8-foot utility easement in the rear, and a 5-foot utility easement on each side, and an 8-foot utility easement in the front. That's the dashed line. That's the limits of the utility easement. These civil engineers work in tenths of feet. So these numbers here are dimensions. So for example, this foundation wall is 15.5 feet, 13 feet, 34 feet. That's the perimeter of your foundation. The little X's are spot elevations. So that would be 5,372.8 feet. So those are spot elevations, and those help me grade your lot. Also, it's certified that the foundation is at a specified elevation, and my top of foundation elevation is 5,382.5 feet. And then we add the subfloor on top of it, is how we get to the 5,383 0.7 finished floor. So this is helpful information. There's a legend on the bottom right that can guide you through what the symbols and what the items mean. But this is a good tool for you to have for landscape planning as well. So as we walk around the front, I'm going to try and through the house, I'm going to try and pick up and mention the options you've selected. Also looking at the electrical and the low volt options and pointing those out. So bear with me as I have to page through a few pages here as we're walking. But as we begin in the front here, you can see I'm standing in front of the 2-car garage. On either side of the garage are the coach lights. On either side of the single stall are the coach lights. Up in this soffit, you requested a camera pre-wire. We got it up in this soffit here above the garage door, and I think that's going to be a good location for that. I think it'll work out just fine. Over here in the front entry, you'll see wires hanging through the soffits, and those are the wires for your LED puck lights. And we have the switch inside, and I'll show you that. But these are 2 LED pucks. We've got one centered over the single stall, and then we got a couple others in the front centered over the windows, which I'll point out to you. But as we move around, and talking about your elevation, one of the things on window grids, on the Colorado Rustic elevation, we've got a T grid, or a 1V, 1H grid. So the Colorado Rustic, all of those grids are the same here on that front elevation. Also, the dormer window up on top has the grids as well. You can see we're installing gutters. We're going to have a downspout on this corner, so that front shed comes around to the garage corner, comes down. We've got another downspout around the corner of this I'll point out to you. All the other side of the roof goes down to the other side gutter. There's a downspout going down the side of the front of the garage. And I'll show you as we move around. So everything you can see gets stone that it does not have siding on it. Another item up in this soffit, you've asked for a holiday lighting circuit, and that is the outlet for the holiday lights. You can see the 2 3-inch LEDs. We've centered those on the 2 outside windows. I believe Kyle mentioned that you would like your puck lights placed just like the ranch up on 154th Avenue, 3385. So these are the exact same locations as we did up on that ranch up there. As you can see, we've got a downspout location here, which will kick back to the side, come down, and out to grade. As we move around in the front here, we've got 2 items sticking out of here, and this is your sump pump, sump pit. The front, we have 2 sump pumps in your house. This is the ejection pipe, which will turn down and go to grade, and this is the front hose bit. As we move down the side here, we got a copper pipe sticking out of the wall, and that is for the irrigation sprinkler line. So that's the irrigation tee, which I'll show you at the main shutoff in the basement where that is controlled from. I've got white pipe sticking out. That's the intake and exhaust for the water heater. No other electrical on this side, but I do have some bath fan, excuse me, some vent fans penetrating. That's from the basement bathroom. And then we move down. This is where the air conditioning units will be placed, is along this space right here. So I've got power, condensate lines, power service outlet, condensate lines for the air conditioning unit, and then the high volt power for the AC. On this wall, we have penetrations for the furnace, intake and exhaust, and your main electrical panel. These conduits sticking out of the ground are low volt conduits, which from the pedestal in the rear of the house, if you choose Comcast or Xfinity, this is where they would pull their wires. We'll have a demarc here, or a disconnect here, connection box for the low volt and telephone. This is your main electric panel. This is mainly just the shut off because you've elected for the indoor service panel, and we'll look at that in more detail. This is all of the low volt wiring coming out of your house for cable TV, all your telephone, all your Cat 6 for internet. So everything comes here and terminates at this point here, and so these are all the 3 wires from in your home. As we move around the back, you can see we're pretty much prepped for stone back here. On the back wall here, I can see that I have low volt pre-wire, and let me just turn to that quickly. And you've requested, that's another camera pre-wire location right there. Right next to the deck at 9 feet. Underneath the patio, we have 2 speaker pre-wires high. We have ceiling fan pre-wire in the center. We have coach light and waterproof outlet below. The patio door that was initially shipped with your window pack was incorrect size, and that showed up today, or again, call if it was Wednesday or today, but we'll be installing that in the next day or so, so this patio door will be installed. So again, speaker pre-wired. We move around the corner. Oh, you've also requested no stairs coming off of your deck. So we have not prepared the deck for any stairs whatsoever. That will be a continual, complete closed iron rail at the deck above. Your rear hose bib here. And then the other penetration on this wall is the kitchen hood vent. That's the only other penetration. We'll look at the deck, at the deck pre-wires when we get up there. No other electrical options selected on this side of the home. So here we are in the 2-car garage, and in the 2-car garage you can see the correct patio doors here. I had this paper up, if you were wondering, just so that I could make it weather tight for the electricians to continue working. Our garage doors are so far back ordered, it's unbelievable. But I got notice today that your garage doors are going to be coming on the 6th, which is this Wednesday. Hip hip hooray! Your garage doors are coming. Electrical options in this garage. Now you've also selected a complete finish in the garage. So this will be completely drywall, taped, textured, painted. It'll be a complete finish in both garage bays. I know that we've got some electrical in here. We've got the car charger. This is the 50 amp car charger right here behind the door. So this is your car charger. This is just our standard electrical outlet. There's no other lighting or electrical options in here, but just so you know, we have electrical outlet on all 3 walls. One that you just saw, this one here, and we got one on this wall as well. Lighting in the garage is there are 2 ceiling lights, and we have an outlet for the garage door and 3-wire low volt for the sensors for the garage door. Box is in the ceiling, that's a junction box for the coach lights. And we place that so that if there's ever any service to be done, it's easily accomplished. But there'll just be a blank cover plate on the ceiling of the garage for that. As we move over to the single stall garage, we have no electrical options in here, but as you can see, we have an electrical service outlet on each wall. Now generally this back one, on this back wall of this single stall, this is used for the landscape irrigation clock. So the wiring from the valve box will come into this location where your clock mounts, and this is the power for that. Also an electrical outlet on this wall, on the house wall. Again, we've got ceiling light, garage door opener outlet, and low voltage pre-wire for the sensors for the garage door. And this also will be a complete garage finish, so drywall, taped, textured, and painted. So as we come up onto the front porch, you can see that we have ceiling cans here, and I've switched them separately so that these we've got the front light over the door is switched independently from the outlet. So if we come in the front entry, okay, I'm standing at the front entry, and you can see a double stack of switches here. Because we've got so many things going on, we couldn't fit them all in one space. So we do what's called a double stack, and this is fairly typical. And how I separate things are the regular everyday use are the low, easy reach, standard height. And then the exterior options is what I generally stack. So what we've got on top is I've got a 3-gang, it's called a 3-gang, and a 3-gang below. So on the top 3-gang, I've got your holiday circuit, as I pointed out, that operates the holiday lights that outlet's in the soffit. And then we've got the LEDs, the 3-inch LEDs out there in the soffits. Then I also have the 3-way for the coach lights for outside. You've asked for all of those to switch together, both the single stall garage and the 2-car garage. Those are all switched together on a 3-way at the owner's entry, which I'll point that out when we get there. Then on the lower bank are your everyday use. And we've got the outside recessed cans, we've got the entry chandelier, and we have the entry walkway cans. So we've got the outside recess, we've got the holiday circuit, the 3-inch LEDs, and the 3-way to the coaches. Then we've got inside, we've got the front porch lights, we've got the entrance fixture, and you've asked for a ceiling light pre-wire there for a pendant. That's what the second switch is. And then we've got what I call travelers, and you'll hear me say the term travelers, the traveling cans. So as I had mentioned, this last switch here is for the traveling cans, and those are the lights ahead of you. We always wire that you can turn lights on ahead of yourself, and we always have a switch that you can turn lights off behind yourself wherever you're traveling to. So because we're right here, we're gonna enter into the study. You've opted for double doors into the study. Doors open up, and we've got 4-gang switch box here because you've got some additional electrical in this study. So the switches we have here is we've got recessed cans in the ceiling. We've got ceiling fan pre-wire in the ceiling, second switch. Third switch, we have a half-hot outlet, which you've requested to be moved, and we've located that here behind the door. And the fourth switch, you've got some lights going in the cabinets, which this is your study cabinets. We also have power above the countertop where your knee space is. And so that is above the countertop height. Then we got power below in that knee space as well. But we are pre-wired for the lights that go in the cabinets above. So those are the 4 switches as we come in. We have service outlets around the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry I misspoke. That half hot is here under the window, not behind the door. So underneath the window is where that half switched outlet is. So as we move out of the study, we've still got our travelers on ahead of us, but we're gonna move down the way to the master B. And what we've got here are 2 switches. If you're only going this far in your home, you can turn those travelers off behind yourself, but then travelers ahead. We've got recessed cans in the hallway. The electrical box there in the center is a smoke detector. So we got lights on ahead of ourselves. We've got laundry room to our left, which will come back. We've got a hall closet here with rod and shelf in. Then we move into the master B. The door swings this way against the wall. And in the master bedroom B, we have got 3 switches here. One is for the half-hot outlet across the room. The other is for the ceiling fan pre-wire in the center. Plus you've requested 2 CLPs on a single switch, and those are located, one above this window. Sorry about that. Just 1 ceiling light centered on the window. I apologize, I thought there was 2. So we got a CLP above the window, centered. We've got ceiling fan pre-wire, smoke detector. Oh, excuse me, that is low volt pre-wire, not smoke detector. Our smoke detector needs to be up in the coffer, and it is up there. But on the low volt side in this room, let me get to my paperwork. In the master B, we have a glass break detector. That's what that one is. So if either of these windows would break, that glass detector, glass break would pick it up. In the study, we have a glass break and a wireless access point, which I'm going to step back and point those out to you. I'm sorry, I forgot about the low volt. So here we are in the master B. We got the walk-in closet with a switch inside with a recessed can in the center. And we move into the bathroom, 2 switches as normal in any bathroom. We got lights above the lathe, and we've got a fan above the stool. The light above the tub shower combination goes on with the light above the lathe as well. So we have a light above the tub shower, light above the vanity, and a fan in the bathroom. I'm going to step back to the study because I don't want to miss out on those low volts. Again, we've got the glass break in front of the windows, and we've got wireless access or the Wi-Fi access point here. Okay, now we'll step back, into the laundry room. And these are on 3 ways at both entrances. So as you walk in, there are ceiling lights and fan at both locations, switches, 3-way switches. This is the washer and dryer. I put in backing for the shelves, which go above the washer and dryer. Also, I put in backing above the laundry sink for shelving that you've requested. And then we've got the attic access is also located in the laundry. And if you look up in the attic access, you will see a light and a service outlet, and there is a cable or an antenna connection point. And if you choose to go off the grid, you can put an antenna up in your attic and get all the HD channels for free. So 3 things happening up there in the attic. So as we move into the master closet, we've got recessed cams in the ceiling. No additional electric, but we do have service outlets on 2 walls. One on this joint wall with the master V, and behind the shower seat. Okay. As we move into the master bath, this is the master stool room. We have a light and a fan in the stool room. Now, this bathroom is fairly cramped for switching and electrical, and as I know you're aware, because I communicated with Kyle, who I know communicated with you, this is our 2nd house under the new 2020 electrical code, and there are certain things that we can and cannot do. A couple of the items that you've requested we're unable to do, which I know you're aware of. So we have the shower enclosure, and we have the freestanding tub. We have recessed cans above the tub. We have recessed can in the shower. And you requested a 110 outlet here for a future heated towel bar, and I communicated with Kyle that we are unable to do that. Part of the new 2020 electrical code is we are not allowed to put any electrical service outlet within 5 feet of any bathtub. So that would have been within the 5-foot parameter. We cannot even put it inside of the cabinet because it's still within 5 feet. We can have no electrical outlet, which we normally had, or in previous houses, we had electrical outlet here, and we could have put that 110 in. Previous houses, we've been able to do that, but as of 2021, we are now on the 2020 electrical code. So no outlet here. So at this lab, we've got that stubbed here for the electrical outlet because you have a tower cabinet here, and then we're going to put an outlet in that cabinet so that whoever uses this vanity will have power source here, whether it's for a razor or a blow dryer or whatever the case may be. So this is the lab. We have the tower linen. I have 2 switches stacked here. One is for the ceiling light pre-wire, which you've requested over the tub, and the other is for the vanity light. Now, you requested wall sconces, which we weren't able to do because this piece of ductwork is in this bay on every ranch home. So we're unable to do a CLP or a sconce pre-wire here. You requested 2. Now I know after your conversation with Kyle, what we've done is we've moved them up and we've set them in the ceiling and we've centered them, and we did the same at the other vanity. So I've got 2 switches here. One is for the CLPs above the vanity, the other is for the CLP above the tub. On this side of the doorway, we've got the rest of the switches here. We've got recessed cans above the tub, recessed can in the shower, recessed can in the main walkway, and then we've got the 2 sconce switches for the sconces above this vanity, and we have the fan switch. So a lot going on here. From a low volt standpoint in the bathroom, we have 2 speaker pre-wires, and they are located right centered in the walkway, centered with the recessed cans, and hopefully spaced accordingly. Now, as you come and walk this week, I would hope that you would look at these things again. Bring your little mini with you. As far as we're able to determine, we've got things where you've requested. Also for the speakers, above the switches is the volume control for the speakers in the ceiling. So we're going to exit the master bathroom. We're going to move our way toward the master bedroom. We've got linen storage on the left. So here we are in the master bedroom. I have 4 gang switches in the master. And what we have going on here is we've got ceiling fan pre-wire, a half switched outlet across the room. We've got a 3-way to turn off the travelers behind us as we come in. There's a switch to turn that can light on in the hallway, and a switch to turn it off. Then we have the half hot across the room. We've got the ceiling fan pre-wire. Then we've got 2 sconces on the wall on either side of the bed per your request at a specified height. Low volt in this room, we've got 2 speaker pre-wires up in the coffer. And we've got a CP6 down low. Up high. Sorry about that. We've got a CP in the master. We also have 110 electrical options. So CP high at 72 inches. Then the volume control for the speakers next to the electrical switches. In the hallway, I failed to mention that we have a wireless access point here as well. That's the yellow wire in the ceiling in the hall outside of the master. So as we move around, we've got the powder room. And in the powder room, we have a single lab and a stool. There are 2 switches as you come into the powder room. One is for the light above the lab, the other is for the fan. Now here we are at the great room, but we're going to step back a little bit from the great room, and we're at the end of the foyer. And as I had mentioned on travelers, we always have a switch. We've got traveling cans in the ceilings. If you turn them on or off at the entry, you can also turn them on or off here. So if you're traveling to the entry, you can turn your travelers on, and as you're leaving the entry, you can turn it off. Then we have traveling cans ahead of ourselves too, right in the ceiling above, outside the kitchen. So we've got a light switch to turn off behind ourselves and a light to lead us ahead. As we move into the stairwell here and in toward the kitchen area, we've got 2 switches here. One is for your optional step lights that you've selected going downstairs. One light is centered in the center of the run and one on the landing. Same on the other side as we go down. The other switch is for the ceiling light centered in the stairwell. That's always centered in the well. You've requested we close in the niche, no niche on that wall. You also see that silver pipe. I'm going to talk a little bit about that when we get to the basement, but that's a photovoltaic conduit or raceway. That's if you ever wanted to install solar panels on your roof. There's a raceway and it just terminates in the attic where a solar contractor can pull his wires from the mechanical room up into the attic. And I'll point that out to you as we go downstairs. So then here we are into the kitchen. And I have a switch right here on the face of the wall, and that's the 3-way for the dining fixture. And we've located this dining room fixture per Kyle in your direction here, and we are centered on the cans coming, excuse me, no we're not. We're centered on the space, and we are centered with the cans going this way in the kitchen. I recall having a conversation with Kyle about this. Yes. Centered with the ceiling fan, center of window, and centered with the cans going into the kitchen. So the dining area, dining center area will be out in this area. So we got a three-way on the dining fixture here, three-way switch here, and then across the room at the master entrance, there's another switch to operate on or off the dining fixture. As we move around next to this countertop here, we've got cabinet and countertop and refrigerator, freezer on our right. We've got 4 gang switches, plus we have volume control for speakers. And we've got kitchen cans, 3-way under cabinet lighting, kitchen pendant lights over the island, and the volume control. So this is for the under cabinet lighting that you've selected, and then the power above the cabinet. We've got water down low for the refrigerator. Your refrigerator calls for the power to be up high right. These wires sticking out of the wall up high that are stubbed out are for the lights that that's the other switch here. Those are the lights that you've opted for in or above the cabinets. And I've got that picture right here, and that is inside the cabinets. So the puck lighting in the cabinets. So that's what this wiring is for. Then we have on the back side, up high in the pantry, this wire sticking out. That's the junction box for those lights, but that'll be up high and hidden in the pantry. So I'm going to step back here to the owner's entry. The owner's entry, we've got a switch coming in. Inside the garage, there are 2 switches on the wall. One is the 3-way for the coach lights. The other is for the garage lights in the garage. Also, the garage door opener pre-wire is here. So inside, we've got 3-way to the cans, to the travelers, and looks like volume control at the owner's entry. Pre-wire, oh, sorry about that. It's not volume control. Pre-wire for keypad, if I'm reading this mini correctly. Panel pre-wire, yep, security panel pre-wire. This is the pantry. Closet. We've got an outlet inside your closet that you've requested that to be below the first shelf, or below the shelf at, oh, I read it here, I apologize. I think it's, you want that shelf at 18 inches. But we've got that outlet in the correct location. And we've got cabinets in this space with an outlet above. We also have a switch for a CLP centered above the window. So you're gonna have a light fixture up there, and the switch is located here. So we've got the wall sconce, the 3-way for the lights behind yourself, and then the switch to the 4-way for the cans leading into the kitchen and through the entryway. Here we are in the kitchen, and got a lot of wiring going on here in the kitchen. This is the main cabinet and cook wall. We've got double oven over here. This wire, this heavy wire, is the high voltage for the double oven. We've got all outlets at 38.5 inches horizontal per your request. We've got under cabinet lighting. All these white wires sticking out of the wall midway, chest height, are their under cabinet lights. We've got gas for the cooktop, 220 and 110 below. This is the power for the range hood, for the hood. Switches over here next to the patio door are 3-way for the under cabinet lights, which also 3-ways over next to the refrigerator. So you can turn those on and off from either location. Plus the kitchen cans are on the 3-way that you can operate at each location. From a low volt standpoint, looks like we got a CP here at the kitchen per your request. That's this here. And here I'm standing at the kitchen sink. You can see I've got base cabinets on this side, 12-inch base, 18-inch base, a sink base, and the dishwasher here on the right. This power below is for the dishwasher, and that switch will be for the dishwasher and disposal. The disposal switch will be inside the cabinet. So the power for the dishwasher and the disposal switch are inside the cabinet. We've got the ascend island option. See, we've got the two pendants, ceiling cans, standard locations, and then we've got speakers on the low volt side, spaced per your Mini. We've got a glass break inside the patio door. That's the yellow wire up here. So if any glass break ever happens here, that glass break will pick it up. We've got two speakers centered here with these cams for your diagram. And volume control switch is here. We have a 3-gang switch bank here. What we have going on here is we've got exterior recessed cams, we've got a ceiling fan pre-wire, and we also have a switched outlet in the ceiling. As we step outside, we've got a waterproof outlet down below, 2 speaker pre-wires per your request, ceiling fan pre-wire, 2 recessed cans, and the switched outlet up high in the ceiling. Got gas line for barbecue coming out of the column, so that stone will come out right behind that shut-off valve. So here we are in the great room. We've got 2 switches next to the patio door in the great room. One is a 3-way on half hot, and one is a 3-way on recessed cans, and the other switch is toward the master, and I'll point that out to you. The other is for the half hot across the room. And you can see that we've got recessed cans, 4 recessed cans. We've got 2 speaker locations. We also have a glass break above the windows. We also have CLPs above each niche. One there, one there. We've got an outlet at 75 inches, and you can see I've put backing in for shelving and TV backing. You have opted for cabinets here. So we've got cabinet, our outlet inside the cabinet. That'll come out through the cabinet back, and this one is above the cabinet. The shutoff for the gas fireplace, the emergency shutoff, we are going to extend that, and that will be inside the cabinet as well. In this niche, we have power above cabinet elevation, power inside the cabinet. We have the fireplace on-off switch, and also per your diagram, we have the CP location here for low volt. And that'll be inside that cabinet as well. We have a tube conduit going from the CP up next to the power above the fireplace for wall mount entertainment. Service outlets all around the room. Also, outside of the master, I have 4 switches here, and this is the volume control for the speakers in the grand room. So I have the 3-way on the half hot, I've got 3-way on the recessed cans, I've got 3-way on the dining fixture, and then switch for the traveling come into the master, the traveling cans going into the master. And I think I have covered everything on this level and the outside. So in just a moment, we'll be going down to the basement and take a look at the basement. Okay, we're headed down for the basement, and but as we walk, I just want to point out to you that I mentioned we've got 2 switches here. One is for the ceiling light centered in the stairwell. The other is for the step lights coming down. And you can see one fixture is centered in the stair run, one is centered on the landing. Same on the next landing and stair run. Those are our standard locations, which work out very well. As we get to the bottom of the stairs, we got two switches. One's to turn off the step lights behind yourself or turn off the ceiling light behind yourself. And as you move down the wall, we've got lights ahead of ourselves coming on. But we're at the wet bar area, or the rec room area, media room, I guess, no? Yeah, I guess this would be called the big rec room. But at the wet bar location, additional electric, you've requested low volt and high volt at 72 inches on this back wall. We've got outlets above countertop elevation, recessed cans above, and two pendant lights. And we center those, we divide this bar top by 3 and center those two pendant lights. We set it just this side of the wall because we've got a 12-inch overhang, and so we center them right above this wall here. So no heads get bumped from someone standing on this side of the countertop or on this side as you're at the kitchen, at the sink. So we've got sink location, cabinets, outlet above countertop, outlet on the wall over on this side. In the rec room, behind here, we've got the low volt, and that looks like volume control. If I'm not mistaken, let me check our diagram. Volume control for our speakers in this section here. So in this rec room area, we've got 2 speaker locations, 4 recessed cans. We also have a glass break above this window. And this is where the patio door will be installed. I've had it boarded up so I could be weather tight. Service outlets around the area. We've got 2 switches. One is for we've got a ceiling fan pre-wire out there, which I think I pointed out. We also have 2 speaker pre-wires out there, which I pointed out on the back patio. The other switch, so this is volume control also. So we got another switch to move this way on the lighting. In the media room, you've asked for an outlet low and a CP6 down low. Got service outlets around the room. Recessed cans and speaker pre-wires in this area. So we've got 4 more recessed cans, 2 speaker pre-wires, volume control over there for these speakers. All these switches on the wall here. We've got cans on the 3-way here. We've got cans moving into this room and 3-way switch going to cans on the lower ceiling. So we've got drop ceiling here where we've got lighting in this ceiling. Switches are here to turn on or off behind yourself or ahead of yourself. We also have a switch for the travelers ahead of ourselves in the hallway. 3-way on the half hot in the room. Come into this bedroom, into the back bedroom. Door swings open, we've got 2 switches in here. Electrical, we've got a ceiling fan pre-wire center, and we have a half hot outlet down low. We've got a bench with service outlets on the face. This is the downslope sump pump location. This will all be finished with a lid on there. It'll be totally enclosed. Closet, center neat doors, service outlets again around the room. On the low volt side, no pre-wire on low volt in this room. Oh, excuse me. We do have a glass break, and that's located right here in front of the window. And in the other bedroom, we have a glass break as well. So as you move into the shared bathroom, you've got a switch coming in, and that's for the lights above the vanity. You can see we've got lights above vanity, power outlet next to the vanity. Move into the tub shower stool room combination. We've got 2 switches. One is for the light above the tub shower, and the other is for the fan. We move to the other bedroom. We've got a closet in the hallway, linen. We've got three-way, turn the switch off, lights off behind ourselves, come into the bedroom, turn half hot on head, and the ceiling fan pre-wire centered in the room. Also, as I mentioned, we have a glass break in front of this window. Service outlets around the room. Again, another large closet. I will have a small access panel on the face of the drywall for that clean out on the sewer stack. Service outlets all around the room. Now we'll move into the unfinished space. This is here temporarily as a stabilizer until I get the inspected and get the concrete poured, then we pin that wall tight. So as we move into the unfinished mechanical room, come in, we've got light switch in the ceiling. We've got our low volt panel here, all pre-wire for low volt is at this location. We do have service power for that as well. You've elected for a tankless water heater that goes in this back area. This is the anti-scald device. This adjusts the temperature on the master tub. We're required to have that by code. I believe we are going to be mounting, we've got power outlet there, we'll be mounting the tankless water heater on that plywood panel. Main furnace, floor drain. This is called a Studer vent. It's just a vent for the underground drain system. The total control panel. We also have for your humidifier, this is the water line for your optional humidifier. Your indoor service panels, load centers are here. So all breakers for all lights and outlets and interior switches will be in this location. Out in the outside is the main disconnect in that panel. We might have the car charger out there as well. We generally run the high voltage circuits, air conditioning, hot tub, car chargers to the main panel. Then all lighting and electrical main circuits are in the sub-panels in the basements. So as you come in, another light switch to turn on in the unfinished storage area. We got service outlet. Service outlet. You've asked for a dedicated 110 outlet on the back side of this wall, and that's it, this outlet right here. Service outlet on the wall. We got the main water, we call it the water tree. This is the water tree. This is the main water service coming in from the street. We've got the main shut off. With a secondary, this is our shut off to the sprinkler system outside, which I had mentioned, so we got a separate shut off for that. This is an anti-hammer device, which generally goes, it's a hydro rester. Sometimes air gets in irrigation lines, and this prevents the pipes from knocking or racking. Main shut off, so we can isolate the PRV, the pressure reducing valve. This is factory preset at a desired PSI, so we'll leave that set. But this is your main service line going to the mechanical room and then branches off from there. So this is our main water tree. This is a grounding wire. We have two means of grounding in your house. One is to a ground rod in your garage, and the other we bond around the water line. So you got two methods of grounding. We've got a power service outlet here. We also have, this is the under drain, or we run an interior drain system inside. This is a clean out which connects to the street. This is the high side sump pump location. So there'll be a sump pump installed in here, and as I mentioned in that back bedroom. So this will all be connected. This is the power for, this is the ejection pipe I pointed to on the outside, on the east side. Service outlet, this is a vapor vent. On top of our interior drain, we stack a pipe on top which naturally vents any vapor or moisture or humidity that forms underneath the basement slab. It naturally vents out, and that goes all the way up through your roof. Power service outlet and main plumbing stack. This is where the main sewer comes into the house. So this is a clean out for that. That pretty much covers it. We've got heat and return air coming into these spaces, so these are totally conditioned. All of the concrete walls get insulated. All frame walls, exterior walls get blown insulation and drywall. No drywall in the mechanical rooms. stairwell, and then all framed walls in the finished space are drywall finished, as you're aware. So I think that pretty much wraps it up into the basement. We're gonna take a break, we're gonna walk outside, and we'll recap outside. Okay, Thomas and Angela, it's been a little while since I've done one of these pre-drywall videos, so I'm a little out of practice. It's been since before Thanksgiving, so I apologize. But if you have any questions, please reach out to Kyle. And as I had mentioned when we started, we talked about the grading and the drainage, the gutter and downspout locations. We talked about the elevations on the window grid. We looked at all electrical locations and low volt and security pre-wires. Plumbing is all in. We looked at mechanical locations. And then the last thing here is the projected schedule. And right now, as I'm going through, we begin the rough inspection process this week, which generally takes a week to 10 days to get through all the municipalities and the third-party inspectors from energy and civil and ground and municipality. It's a pretty involved process, but we begin that this week, and it usually takes about a week to 10 days. Then I'll be going to insulation. I'm hoping to insulate next week, the week of the 11th, and then we're stocking drywall right behind that. After drywall, the process is that we install cabinets. After drywall is complete, we install cabinets, and we do all tile work. Then we come in and we do all woodwork behind that. So if I am going to insulation the week of the 11th, I'll probably going to drywall the week of the 18th, and that puts us into finishes probably the 1st of February, right in that timeline. So with that said, we're looking at delivering your house approximately, and Kyle, once I get to drywall, Kyle can give you weekly updates on how we're moving on things, but right now we're projecting this to be an early to mid-May delivery, and I hope that works within your time schedule. So with that said, I'll be moving along. I'll leave this to you, but please, if you have any questions, any concerns, and as you're walking the house this weekend, when you come and visit, if you see anything that stands out to you or something that's amiss, please let us know and we'll address it immediately. So thank you so much for your time, Thomas and Angela. We look forward to seeing you and meeting you and finishing your house for you.